Hey YouTube, my grandpa asked for a quick update on the aquaculture system, aquaponics system, so that's what I'm doing. My wife told me I've got to get on this side of the garage, so that's why all this beekeeping stuff is here. But here we go. Forgive me, I've been fiddling with it a little bit, so the water is a bit murky. Let me just go over the specifics here. This is where it all starts, right here with the pump into a sand filter. This right here is just when I want to do a backwash or rinse and clean out this. I can just flip this handle and it will flush it out down the exit line. So it pumps the water through here, up, and then it hits all 4 or 5 of these junctions. The valves are meant just to control water flow. The height is equal across the 4 of this to make sure water can rise at somewhat a consistent rate. This right here I'll explain in just a little bit. I just built that today because I was having some water level issues. But this is grow out tank number 1, or number 2, sorry. And you can see oxygenation happening here and here. And it's kind of cloudy on the camera, sorry. Maybe I'll feed him in a second to show you. Yeah, I've been messing with this thing and doing water flushes and changing water around, so it's kind of stirred some things up. But here's the 2 grow out tanks. These other tanks right here are meant to be nursery tanks as well as grow out tanks. Stage tanks is what I call them. And you can see that they're, can't get rid of the glare, but the water pumps through here, 1 pipe into each one of these top media tanks that's full of about 6,000 linear feet of baling twine in each one of these things. Then it hits a standpipe up above. It's connected by this leveling mechanism. It hits a standpipe up above and flows down, hits this, and fills each one of these simultaneously, all 8 of them on the bottom level. Then with this solids lifting outlet, because the water is rising all the time, but the only place for the water to exit is here, it creates a suction at the bottom, and it kind of, as the fish move around in a circle, it kind of collects the solids in the middle and sucks them out, brings them down here to this return line that flows all the way back gradually, then hits twin 45-degree angle pieces and comes up to dual standpipes. And you can see the water flowing pretty consistently, and the solids come up through those standpipes, get redirected just like that. It hits it, and it just sits there until it gets heavy enough that it sinks to the bottom. Because right about right here, if I were to take the lid off, is when the return lines come. This valve right here was a waste. I ended up not needing it because I needed to connect 2 more lines to keep the water flow moving. This is the moving bed biofilter, and let me show you that now. Okay, this is the moving bed biofilter. You can see here we're getting a lot of oxygen diffused into the water, and it's bubbling the biomedia filter media constantly. The reason why you want oxygen in there, like all things within aquaponics or aquaculture, you don't want things to go stale, and it needs oxygen. The bacteria needs oxygen to do its process. So this is a lot of biomedia filter in here. Just imagine the surface area equivalent. If you grab some of these things, you can see there's just tons and tons of grooves and cavities, and that's what it's meant to do. You can see some whiter pieces in there. Those are newer ones. The darker pieces are older ones. Got some algae growing on this side because of that window, and that's a bummer deal. Been fighting that a little bit. Okay, interesting stuff. The reason why I added this and I have a control line on it is I want to make sure that I can control master flow through here. What it means is because this is lower than the rest of this, the water is going to naturally find the path of least resistance and come out here, and I can control it, the flow here. And it's going right back into this sump tank, this moving bed biofilter, which is what feeds into the pump. So if I've got too much water flow into this side of the system, I can turn this open a little bit more and allow more water to just go directly back into this. It also acts as a oxygenation characteristic, as well as just continuing to move the biomedia around. There's power there. My feed is stored in here. I just feed them pellets. Let me show you how, I hope they're aggressive. I've been frightening them a little bit right now, but let me feed them and see what they do. Gives you kind of a visual of how many fish are in there. It's just shy of 100. They're not as big as they should be by this age. It's because I really couldn't keep the water at 72 to 75 degrees during the winter. That was killer to try to do that. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be working really well. I have my problems with it here and there, but such as this. Let me show you one problem that I have. This tank right here, no matter how hard I try, flows over this pipe. It doesn't quite go over the standpipe, which is good. But what you really want is you want it to be like that, or rather like that one right there, where it's just the very top of it. That shows you that the water is rising and quickly flowing out, being able to unrestricted go through back here and back into the radial flow filter. The way I empty this is, once this is caked with lots and lots of gunk and stuff, I open this up, I grab that rod, I stick it in there and I whoosh it around, get everything picked up. Then there's this line right there, I open it up and it just flushes it out. I connect a hose to the back of it or something like that, water my plants in the yard. Let me show you what the grass has done in the area that I flushed water during the winter time. Fish flute fertilizer is the way to go. There's so much else to this. I have just little cups to this, and I'm going to put clay pebbles. They actually have a few clay pebbles in here, or little rocks that kind of holds the plant in place. The roots grow down in the water, and there's some fish waste down there as well naturally, and they're going to grow in that. I have to suspend some grow lamps down here, but because of our unfortunate state choosing to legalize marijuana, the grow lamps on Craigslist have skyrocketed, so I've got to find, the cost of them have skyrocketed, so I've got to find another source for them, which I think I have one. But yeah, I mean, everything is kind of made out of repurposed recycled junk. All of these things were free here, for pretty much free. These were $2 each, these barrels and stuff like that. PVC corners and fittings and stuff like that I had to purchase, but seems to be working really well. And the trick to this that I've been trying so hard to do is to make it easy to service on a Saturday morning. Hopefully it would take about 15 to 20 minutes to come out here and flush it. This is my reserve tank right here, and all I do has a pump in it. I connect it and it pumps the water back into this, and makes it pretty easy that way. Just a backfill, backflow. Yeah, there's the update. You saw some fish too, so that's good. Take care.